The battle over security guarantees for Ukraine is exploding into a global standoff. Moscow mocks them as nonsense. Paris mobilizes troops. Trump shrugs off details, and NATO inches closer to a collision with Russia.
This is bullshit, or just shit, whatever you want to call it. They gather and discuss what guarantees to give to Ukraine. They pull it out of different places, present it as a guarantee, but there will be no consequences.
Medvedev's fury is not just theater. He warns NATO expansion from Finland to Poland is forcing Russia to fortify its borders against what he calls unfriendly acts.
Our neighbors, the Baltic states, Finland, Norway, Poland, are intensifying military activity near our territory. If it's not troops, it's walls and fences. All of it is infrastructure for war. We must strengthen the border and prepare.
Then came Vladimir Putin. Speaking at the Eastern Economic Forum, he dismissed Western pledges outright, blasting Europe's guarantees as empty and Ukraine itself as incapable of making peace.
I don't see much point in talks. It is virtually impossible to reach an agreement with Ukraine. Even if there is political will, which I doubt, they hide behind legal and technical excuses. And Europe, instead of pushing for real peace, feeds them illusions with these so-called security guarantees.
Across the Atlantic, Donald Trump was asked where America stands. His answer was vague, but he left no doubt that Europe, not Washington, must pay the price first.
And what about the security guarantees aspect of that with Ukraine, sir?
Well, we'll work that out. We'll help them. Look, we want to save a lot of lives, so we'll do something with that. I think people expect that. We'll help them. Europe will be first in by far, and they want to be first, and they want to see it end. Europe wants to see it end. And it'll end. It'll end all of a sudden. It's going to come together.
But Emmanuel Macron doubled down. Standing with Volodymyr Zelensky in Paris, he revealed numbers. 35 countries committed to guarantees, and 26 ready to send troops into Ukraine.
This coalition of the willing has put on the table a military and political commitment. 35 members in total, and 26 countries that have committed themselves to deploying troops inside Ukraine as a reassurance force. Boots on the ground in Ukraine.
Troops on Ukrainian soil, not in battle, Macron insists, but in so-called reinsurance zones under a ceasefire. For Russia, however, that means NATO troops crossing into Ukraine. Red lines are being erased. Medvedev calls it BS. Putin brands Europe's pledges a sham. Trump says it will end suddenly. Macron vows 26 nations will put boots on the ground. Security guarantees are no longer words. They are soldiers, flags, and frontline deployments. The question is no longer if, but when NATO and Russia collide.